24th of January 2020, Friday, 2:53 p.m. My name is James and this is Weird But Wonderful. Welcome back to your weekly dose of weirdness and exploration into the minds of strange people doing strange things. On this show, we cover everything from psychology journals to peer-reviewed studies to ridiculous news stories, all in the pursuit of trying to understand what makes people tick. You know, this is a show that's fascinated by people. We barely understand them. And, you know, we're just trying to figure people out, you know? What makes people tick? What drives people to do what they're doing? You know, what makes someone have sex with a car? You know, what's the thought process behind that? And how do you get into that? That's the kind of stuff. Good. If it's your first time here, you're sort of getting I'm sort of setting a bad example of what the show's going to be like. But hey, sometimes, you know, we delve into some serious stuff, you know. Why is it that women are so obsessed with true crime? The dangerous impacts of social media. We get pretty deep and serious on some stuff sometimes. Let me take you to a little place called Harlan in Iowa, where a Kansas man has asked an Iowa judge to let him engage in a sword fight with his ex-wife and her attorney so that he can rend their souls from their bodies. Yes, Judge, thank you for taking this meeting today. Obviously, if it would please the court, I would like to, again, you know, sort of, I acknowledge the current laws in the state of Iowa here in Harlan, you know, very good. You know, I think they're great, protecting the citizens, things of that nature. And with all due respect to the current laws of Harlan, Iowa, if it shall please the court, would like to, and stay with me here, I want to samurai sword fight my wife and her attorney at the same time. Stay with me. In order to settle this case and also, delicately, I might add, rend their souls from their body, if it would please the court. No. David Ostrom, 40, of Paola, Kansas, said in a January 3rd court filing that his former wife, Bridgette Ostrom, 38, of Harlan, Iowa, and her attorney, Matthew Hudson, had, quote, destroyed him legally. Your Honor, Your Honor, my client feels as though Miss Ostrom and Mr. Hudson have destroyed him legally, and thus he would like to destroy them physically, and he is tapping the piece of paper here, which I am forced to read now. He would like to rend their souls from their body, if it would please the court, Your Honor. The Ostroms have been embroiled in disputes over custody and violation issues and property tax payments. The judge had the power to let the parties resolve their disputes on the battlefield. I like how that came down. So we don't take into account the laws. It just comes down to a guy wearing a wig and seeing how he feels that day. What kind of morning do you have to have where you're like, you know what? I'm gonna allow this. Yeah, you guys duke it out. David Ostrom said, adding to his filing that the trial by combat, quote, has never been explicitly banned or restricted as a right in the United States. Hey, judge, look, I want to rend their souls from their body. They've destroyed me legally. I want to fuck them up physically. Now, there isn't anything that explicitly states that I can't take a trial by combat. The combat that I choose is, of course, samurai swords. Now, please let me rend their souls from their body. Thank you, yes. He also asked the judge for 12 weeks' time so he could secure Japanese samurai swords. Judge, look, I have already placed the order. I've bought 3 of them off Amazon.com. Unfortunately, my Prime ran out, so I didn't get next day delivery. So if I could get a couple weeks, they are coming internationally, of course. If I could just get 12 weeks to wait for that shipment to come in before I rend their souls from their body, that'd be great. If it would please the court. His motion filed in Shelby County District Court stemmed from his frustration with his ex-wife's attorney, Ostrom told the Des Moines Register. Quote, I think I've met Mr. Hudson's absurdity with my own absurdity, Ostrom said, adding that his former wife could choose Hudson to act as her champion. Did you ever think, and maybe, I know some people who have studied law and now work in the profession of law. Did you ever think, if you do work in law, that at any point you would have to be someone's nominated, I guess, protector in a trial by combat? That rarely comes up, I feel like, I did intro to law, and at no point did anyone say, and also, technically, trial by combat could still be a thing, depends how the judge is feeling that day. You may have to defend someone. So, while you hit the books, also hit some combat training. That's all I'm going to say. Welcome to Law 101. Hudson argued in his legal response that because a duel could end in death, quote, such ramifications likely outweigh those of property tax and custody issues. Look, guys, custody issues and, of course, tax payments are a problem that can come to an end. And death kind of feels like a pretty permanent solution to a temporary problem. So I'm going to have to, as much as I really want to see a trial by combat, because, I've never seen that before, I am going to have to say no. Sorry. And the whole jury went, oh, come on. Fuck. And he went, guys, I can't let people fight to the... do it. Yeah, do it now. I can't go home having disappointed these people. Nah, you guys earned it. You earned it. Yeah. This has been a pretty boring case, and it's been dragged out. You guys have earned it. Yeah, fuck each other. Rend their souls or whatever the fuck. This is going to be good. Hey, guys on the jury, this is going to be good. Hudson asked the judge to reject the request for trial by combat. Pussy! Hudson, you fucking pussy. Judge, please, can you reject the trial by combat? The judge should have said no. No, dude. You did intro to law. You did Law 101. You were told that there was a potential for this to happen. Okay? And with your flimsy arms and your flimsy legs, you obviously picked up lots of books and not enough swords in your time. And now, really, you're going to pay the price. You're going to pay the price. Judge Craig Drysmere said in his own filing Monday that he won't be issuing a decision anytime soon, citing irregularities with both sides' motions and responses. So he didn't even turn it down straight away. He just said, "Look, guys, I'm not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no either, okay? You guys need to sort your shit out." I reckon the judge is waiting 12 weeks until the swords show up, and then that way he can be like, well, he did already spend the money, so I guess we're going to have to do the trial by combat now. Sorry, everyone. Quote, until the proper procedural steps to initiate a court proceeding are followed, this court will take no further action concerning any motion, objection, or petition filed by either party at this time. He wants to see him fight. I'm calling it right now. This judge, he's doing this to buy himself some time. He's got to go hit up a couple books to see, like, can I actually do this? Can I do a trial by combat? Is this a thing that I can do? Can I make people fight to the death, yes or no? I've got to hit up a book. All I'm saying is, if this judge could just do it one time, just one time, let a trial by combat happen, just so we can set that precedent so that potentially any legal ramifications come up with maybe you listening to this in the future. You can say, hey, look, Hudson v. Ostrom, or Ostrom v. Ostrom 2020, they ruled in favor of a trial by combat. So the precedent's been set. I also want a trial by combat. So just, I guess the takeaway is be careful out there, train now. Start training now. A new precedent could be set in the legal system, and we'll have to start abiding by it. So start lifting the weights, start training with the swords, go to some practice ranges, maybe get some gun shooting in, We've all just, it's on all of us now. We've just got to start. This is part of our life now. Man, what? I mean, this obviously, this is just a dude pushed to his limit, and he's like, you know what? You guys want to go goofy on it? I'm going to go goofy on it. Let's fight to the death. Oh, really? Oh, really? Some tax payments and stuff? Oh, some violations? Okay. How about I rend your soul from your body? How about that? Let's go to Woodland, North Carolina, where they have just rejected a proposal for a solar farm, just following some public concerns. It's 2020. We're talking more about climate change now more than ever, which is great. The discussions are happening. It's being covered by the news. More and more people are becoming aware of climate change and the issues surrounding it. And so, all of that is really good stuff, and hopefully this means moving forward into the future, we start seeing more government and private backing in, alternative resources, and, we become less fossil fuel dependent. I think, it's good. The discussion is happening. More people are educating themselves. It's a good time. It's a good time for, I guess, the discourse. Not so much the environment, because everything is still sort of, stuff's on fire. People are still like, living shitty and tons of emissions and stuff like that. But, a discourse has started, and that's where you want to start. So interesting that Woodland, North Carolina would be rejecting a proposal for a solar farm. Members of the public in Woodland, North Carolina expressed their fear and mistrust at the proposal to allow Strata Solar Company to build a solar farm off Highway 258. During the Woodland Town Council meeting, one local man, Bobby Mann, said solar farms would suck up all the energy from the sun and businesses would not go to Woodland. Bob, what? Just want to run Bob's concern by you again. The solar farms would suck up all the energy from the sun. Okay. Jane Mann, I'm assuming Bobby's wife, a retired science teacher. Thank God, here we go. Some reason's going to be injected into the fucking debate. Said she was concerned that the panels would prevent plants in the area from photosynthesizing, stopping them from growing. Hey guys, the solar panels don't soak up all the sunlight. Okay, if you stand next to a solar panel not wearing a shirt, you're not going to not get burnt because the solar panel sucked up all the sunlight. That's not how... And a science teacher said that it would suck up all the sunlight and prevent plants from photosynthesizing. Okay, well, we all knew the education system in the US was a little bit off, but and a teacher, okay. She also questioned the high number of cancer deaths in the area, saying no one could tell her solar panels didn't cause cancer. I bet someone could go down there and say, no, yeah, these didn't cause cancer. She wouldn't believe it. Let's face it, she wouldn't buy it. The area around Woodland is a popular choice because it has an electrical substation allowing the panels to be hooked up to the national grid. A spokesperson for Strata told the meeting, quote, "There are no negative impacts. A solar farm is a wonderful use for a property like this." They added, quote, "The panels don't draw additional sunlight." Imagine having to go down there and tell everyone, hey, They'll still, hey guys, when we put the panels in, there'll still be sunlight, okay? The town of Woodland, North Carolina won't turn into permanent night because the solar panels have sucked up all of the sunlight. Oh, I can't breathe anymore because the trees don't have any sunlight. Photosynthesis has stopped and therefore we're dying because the trees can't process oxygen because the sunlight's gone. Hi, welcome to Woodland, North Carolina. We are in an eternal winter night because, as you can see outside of town, the solar panels have soaked up all of the sunlight. And now the rest of the town has become a permanent night winter hellscape. That's how that works, you know? The council voted 3-1, rezoning the land, and later voted for a moratorium of future solar farms. Among the reasons they gave were that growing solar industries would harm the economy and reduce the value of homes in the area. Oh, fuck me. Okay. It would harm the economy. Okay. Speaking after the COP21 summit on climate change in Paris pledged to limit global warming below the threshold of 2 degrees Celsius, Pope Francis said the plan will require, quote, concerted and generous commitment from everyone. Experts said a move towards renewable power with investment in wind and solar will be required to cut down on emissions. Look, it's simple. I own a home in Woodland, North Carolina. Let me run some questions by you. If we put in a solar farm, 1, do I want cancer? No. Okay. 2, do I want the plants to stop photosynthesizing? Well, obviously not. 3, do I want Woodland, North Carolina to turn into a frozen night hellscape because the solar panels have soaked up all the sunlight? Well, no. Well, then obviously we don't want solar panels here because that's how they work. Imagine thinking any of that. Well, I guess thinking really isn't your thing if you believe, if you think that, solar panels are giving us cancer and also they soak up all the sunlight. So if we put too many solar panels on Earth, it'll turn nighttime forever. Yeah, I know. I mean, we'll have lights and stuff, but the sun will turn off, basically. I mean, that's going to do it. That's going to do it for this episode. Where do you go from there? Head over to One Weird Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with all the goings on. A very special thank you, obviously, to the patrons, Shane, Sam, and our producer, patron, Sam. I know I say it all the time, but, you know, you guys are crushing it. It means the absolute world to me. When, you know, I don't know if you listening, if you're an artist or a maker of things, but, you know, when you make something and people like it, you know, and want to consume it, or whatever it is that you make, if people enjoy it, it's, you know, it's a crazy thing. And then to have people then be like, hey, I also want to give this money to support it and to see more of it and to help it grow is just like, it's a whole other level, and it's honestly hard to put into words. So, I appreciate you guys so much for, you know, supporting me, supporting the show. I'm glad that, you know, you enjoy this. You know, it really does mean the world. You know, it's hard to it's really is hard to put into words. But again, thank you so much. For anyone else, if you want to, support the show, you want to pledge, you can become a subscriber today on patreon.com/mypixelpersona. There's a couple of different tiers over there. You can get episodes a week early. You can get bonus content in episodes, which is becoming more and more of a regular thing now. The last episode that went out has an extra 30 minutes of bonus content. So if that sounds like something you're into, or, you know, this is being filmed, there's a video version of this. If you want to see videos of the podcast now, that's also a tier as well. And, or you can just tip and give $1 or whatever, you know, anything, any support really, really does mean a lot. So, again, My Pixel Persona, patreon.com/mypixelpersona. Head over there, check out the tiers, kick a couple bucks my way if you're enjoying the show. I'd really appreciate it. And share the show with a friend or a family member. Share the show with one person. If you're enjoying it and if you think this might be up someone else's alley, tell them about the show. That's sort of how podcasts grow, really. That's how I find all my podcasts, is through word of mouth, people suggesting them. So that'd be great. And, leave a 5-star review wherever you get podcasts. That's another way to help the show. Or even just like sharing and retweeting, that kind of stuff. If you don't want to pledge or anything like that, just sharing it, really helps get the word out, and would be awesome. But you can also find me at mypixelpersona on Twitter and Instagram. That's going to do it for this one. This has been an episode. Can't say the numbers because I've recorded a few and they're all going up at different times. So this has been an episode. Come back for another episode, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Love ya.